What's up, language challengers? I'm on my way home to my parents because today is January 28th, which means Lunar New Year. So yeah, you meet up with your family, eat a lot, have a good time. So let's go. Back in my place again. What's up, language challengers? It was nice seeing the whole family, and yeah, we also visited my grandma the next day, so that was pretty neat. A lot of delicious food, very nice, and yeah, obviously I also got a few of these. And I also got a little present from Amazon. What can it be? Let me see. Oh, present for me. Ooh, look at these. Dun, 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 dun. Green from Zero, number 2. What else do we have? Gary V, ladies and gentlemen, yes. And I also got the new book by Benny Lewis, Language Hacking for French. Very nice. I had the honor to meet him last year in Berlin at the Polyglot Gathering. I kind of feel like studying Korean right now, but before that, let me give you some tips on how to learn vocabulary. Let's go. How to learn vocabulary. That's a huge topic, so let me give you a little introduction and then I'll show you how I prefer to learn new words. There are basically 3 steps when it comes to memorizing anything in general. So step 1 is often referred to as encoding, or I prefer the term acquisition. So whenever you encounter a new word, you need to learn its meaning, how to pronounce it, how to write it, right? Step 2, consolidation. So you try to recognize the words in specific context. For example, while reading or listening, you might have those aha moments because you recognize the words, right? You also try to use the words as much as possible. So in that way, your brain makes new associations and connections, and you can reinforce the new words that you've just acquired recently. If you do that over and over again, you eventually reach the 3rd step, often referred to as recall or retrieval. Now the words are stored into your brain and you can easily recall them and use them in conversation. Yay! How can we reach that last step? Obvious answer, repetition. A lot of repetition. But fear not, my friends. There are so many different ways to learn vocabulary, so you can always spice it up a little bit, experiment for yourself, make it more fun, and hopefully effective. That combined with solid learning habits, then learning vocab is a piece of cake. Personally, I prefer the good old flashcards. The concept behind flashcards is something called spaced repetition. Let me explain. We all know if we don't review something that we've learned recently, the chances are high that we will forget it soon, right? Basically after every exam. However, you don't need to review the material, or in this case, the word, every single day. You probably know what this is, a flashcard box. So the new words are in front and the more familiar ones are in the back. So basically, the further back the card is, the longer you can wait until you review it. So these cards in front, I might review them every few days, and these in the back, I might review them every month. So the theory behind spaced repetition is you review the material right when you're about to forget them. If you're not that old school like me, there are apps such as Anki or Memrise that use this spaced repetition principle. Pro tip, if you're learning Japanese or Chinese, don't focus too much on how to write the kanji or hanzi, but focus on the pronunciation and the meaning of the word first. In the previous video, I mentioned the 30-minute sessions that I like to do when I get home. And I usually start off with reviewing vocab because that's an easy way for me to get into study mode. So I like to do that first. If you're more a visual type of learner, then you might want to use something called mnemonics, so learning techniques that use associations. In other words, if you have a new word here, you make a association or connection to a picture or several pictures or even a whole story, And that way, your brain can memorize the new word easier because you have this connection to something familiar, something that you already know. I'll do a separate video about mnemonics. So much about the first step, so learning the meaning of the word, how to write, how to pronounce. In the second step, you try to recognize the words in specific context, for example, through reading or writing. For Japanese or Chinese, it is very useful to look for any kind of easy readers because these are limited in terms of vocabulary. So there's a high chance that you will encounter certain words over and over and over again. So that way you can reinforce what you've already learned. For listening, you can use podcast, music, any type of audio is fine. In this step, it is important to learn how the word is actually used in context. So not just isolated by itself. There might be specific expressions, fixed expressions. For example, you might have learned the word takai, tall for Japanese, right? And you might end up saying something like Tanaka-san wa takai desu ne. Wrong. The correct answer is Tanaka-san wa sei ga takai desu. So sei is back. So you're basically saying Tanaka-san's back is tall. What I'm trying to say is that's a fixed expression in Japanese. So you can't just learn a word and then apply it blindly without really knowing how to really use the word in context. That's it for today. There are many different other aspects that I could talk about, but in another video. So if you want to know more, make sure to subscribe. Okay. So today I just did a little repetition. Adverbs such as 항상, always, or 자주. 저는 항상 숙제해요. 저는 자주 운동해요. Or sentences such as 저는 선생님 되고 싶어요. 저는 매일 한국어를 공부해요. Then a few 하다 verbs like 여행하다 and so on. What else do we have? 돈이 없어서 여행할 수 있어. 할 수 없어요. True. That's it for today. I haven't worked out for the past 1.5 months. So yeah, let's go. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks all for watching. If this video was somehow useful to you, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, see you next time. Step 2 is consolidation. Step 2 is consolidation. Step 2 is consolidation.